What's up everyone, MK Tom Brady here, and in this video I want to talk about one Edward John Boon finally responding to the Mortal Kombat 11 community. So just a quick rehash, people have been waiting for anything regarding the future of Mortal Kombat 11. They thought we would get some news by the MK movie, which is the 2-year anniversary of the game. We got nothing. They thought maybe by E3, we got nothing. Maybe by the end of the Pro Series, we got nothing. And then surely the Tuesday after the Pro Series concludes, where Tuesdays are a very popular day in the video game industry for news, trailers, etc. Of course, that Tuesday just came and went and we got nothing. But right when we thought all hope was lost, bright and early this morning, one Edward John Boon is back at it again, boys. And he tweets the following, a series of tweets starting with this. I guess we can assume Mortal Kombat 11 runs on Windows 11, right? And of course, this is in reference to the leak of Windows 11. But of course, MK community, we're dying for anything here. We're saying, what does this mean? Are you saying that we're getting something? Is this you giving us hints, breadcrumbs about Combat Pack 3, about an overhaul? Like, what is this? And, you know, people get tired of these cryptic tweets. Like, why can't you just come right out and tell us? Edward John Boon wasn't done yet, though. He then tweets this, maybe about 30 minutes later. Something from the BBC News UK, hashtag nope. And of course, people see this and they immediately think, all the comments were like, is this the pit? Is he hinting about the pit? Is this about the new content that we're going to be getting? Is this mean Combat Pack 3 with new stages? This is how thirsty, how desperate the Mortal Kombat 11 community is for any news at all. And of course, people get sick and tired of these cryptic tweets. Just give us a straight answer, please. One Edward John Boon. So of course, then somebody tweets the following. Ed Boon quoted this tweet where the guy says, finally, some news about MK, but is not enough to bring KP3, and Ed Boon replies with, good. Darcidius, of course, good. Let the self-entitlement run through you, which of course basically is something that many content creators have reiterated many times, that the MK community is just so self-entitled, they're selfish, they're not happy with anything, they have no patience. Ed Boon just echoing that. And of course, this pretty much confirms there will be no KP3. I mean, if you at all ever plan on selling a Combat Pack 3, you're certainly not going to douse people's hopes by saying, let the self-entitlement run through you when speaking in reference to a Combat Pack 3. So in my opinion, this not only confirms no Combat Pack 3, but listen, for all of you who are hoping they overhaul the game, let me give you some real talk here. If they're not selling a product, they're not just going to spend millions of dollars to overhaul the game, millions of dollars in manpower and everything that goes along with it, and not also parlay that with a sellable product like a Combat Pack 3. No KP3 means no overhaul, means no changes. To me, this pretty much confirms it. But I want to address this stuff that the MK community is self-entitled, that we're impatient, that we're never happy. Well, someone, as it turns out, happened to release this chart. He brings up that most fighters have years-long DLC trails. Tekken 7 and Street Fighter 5 are passing 5 years. It's been a year and a half, and MK fans are in the dark right now. Respectfully, why is that? Now, here's what's so funny about this. People always used to say, well, that's because the NRS window is 2 years. New game comes out every 2 years. But even with Mortal Kombat 11, now 2 years are gone, and there's not a new game, and there probably won't be a new game for the next 12 to 18 months. We still get nothing. Now, what's ironic here is this is the generation we're just coming out of. In the previous generation, the PS4, Xbox One era, if you combine Mortal Kombat X and Mortal Kombat 11, Mortal Kombat as a whole is the worst supported franchise in the entire history of the generation of consoles that we are leaving. If you combine them, they are still the worst. Even if you throw in Injustice 3, even if you throw in Injustice 2, NRS as a whole needs 3 titles just to barely finish outside of last place, where they would finish second to last in overall content. What this means is that Mortal Kombat players, the MK community, is not entitled. We are actually the worst supported community of any fighter. Look at Tekken 7's chart, right? And it's no longer about the 2-year window. People always say, well, the 2-year window. Mortal Kombat 11 is going to live into year 3. It's in year 3 now, and possibly year 4. So, and look at the chart. And that's probably not going to change. So Mortal Kombat is the worst supported game of this generation. And this says a lot. And the reason why people tweet things like this at one Edward John Boon is not because they're entitled, because they're frustrated. Because, look, when companies make a product, even a video game, that product is sold on promises. And one of the promises was to support the game for longer than usual, which just isn't true. And it wasn't true. In fact, MK11 has so many promises that it was built on that NRS never delivered on, including promises like this when they were asked what they were going to do about the variation system and how they plan to balance things and keep it fresh. It says they plan to balance custom abilities when necessary. With specific variations in mind, they could change the variations themselves. And of course, depending on the feedback from the community, this is funny. Depending on community feedback, they can actually swap moves in and out of your base character. They can make certain moves take up 2 slots instead of 1 and more. So they can basically take moves that are 1 slot, make them 2, 2 make them 1, and so on and so forth. They have all, and this is what was promised to the community. But this actually never happened. They never, how long have we been saying the variation system and things of the game in general need some type of overhaul, and they never got nothing? Where are these promises where you're going to take these useless moves of 2 slots and make them 1, or maybe balance them out so they're worth 2 slots, or change a character so that a move that's base that probably should be selectable, or a move that's selectable and probably needs to be base? Where is that? Where is this right here? Where are these promises of more support? Nowhere. Instead, we get this. So in reality, I'm going to make another video, which is I'm going to pretty much give my final take on MK11. So stay tuned to that for that. But in reality, at the end of the day, they clearly know people are not happy with MK11. And one of the main reasons why I also feel like they don't say anything, because look, not only is NRS not very good with supporting their titles, even when the titles that go past the 2-year window, as in with Mortal Kombat 11, they are by far the worst when it comes to communication. To say their communication skills are poor would be a compliment. It is mind-blowing how poor they are with communication, and it is mind-blowing to me that this would actually happen, that you would actually tell the community that there's any bit of self-entitlement in them when you have a history of doing stuff like this. This is mind-blowing to me. I cannot fathom it. In reality, I truly believe that they figure, look, obviously we want a straight answer, and we're tired of these cryptic tweets, but I truly believe that from their point of view, if they were to come out right now and say they're done with the game, I truly believe that at least they believe it would cripple the game's life cycle. It's hard enough for it to live the next 18 months pretty much on its own as it is. But if people have no hope and you come out and tell them now, well, it's probably not going to fare very well for the remainder of the game's life. So, in my opinion, by saying nothing or keeping the false hope alive, you try to have the game limp forward and barely crawl as you wait for, whatever, as we wait for whatever is coming next. But to me, all this stuff is inexcusable. Enough of the trolling, enough of, cryptic stuff. Is this the pit? Self-entitlement. Enough of all that. I mean, at the end of the day, I think it's finally time to say MK11, this is the game we're going to get. And I think today we really see that nothing is ever going to change. But Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I always love hearing from you guys. As always, thanks so much for all the support. I can't tell you how much it means to me. And stay tuned for more content.